All right, Operation Overlook is a crime prevention initiative that the Columbus Police Department is putting together to prevent the spike that typically happens in crime this time of year. Typically, when school gets out and the weather warms up, we have a uptick in crime. We're trying to prevent that. Right now, the crime rate, I just looked at it, it's at 26.9% reduction from last year, right at 30%. I believe if we do this initiative right, we could truly have a 50% reduction in overall crime by the end of the year. And we can even look at a bigger picture than that. If we hit a 50% reduction in crime, we truly could be one of the top 10 safest cities in the state of Georgia. And that's my ultimate goal. And what this is, it's an all hands on deck initiative. I would like the parents, the teachers, the coaches, the business leaders, the community leaders, all working together on one mission, and that's to reduce the crime rate in the city of Columbus. I want the city of Columbus to be the envy of all the other cities in the state of Georgia. The police officers you see in the room are all police officers that work for Columbus that normally would not be on the streets. I have about 109 detectives that over the next 30 days are going to be augmenting some of the patrol initiatives out on the street. They're going to be in the high crime areas. They're going to be in uniform. They're going to be making traffic stops. We're also going to have a select group of police officers in undercover vehicles looking for criminals committing crimes in your areas. I'd like all the teachers, while they get out of school, that's about, a couple hundred extra eyes that we'll have on the streets. I would like the business leaders to keep an eye out for the criminals in the business areas. I'd like the parents, over the next 30 days, I'd like the parents to search their children's rooms and cars. If they find guns or drugs, even if the gun is stolen, call us and we'll come pick it up, no questions asked. Our goal is to save lives and completely eliminate crime in the city of Columbus for this next 30 days. And if we do it properly, this crime trend going down is going to continue to the end of the year. But we can't do it alone as police, but as a group, as a community, if we work together, we will reduce the crime rate. At this time, I'd like to call the mayor up and let him speak on what we're trying to accomplish, and then we'll open up for questions.
Thank you, Chief. Obviously, this initiative, this proactive initiative, has the possibility of changing and tremendously improving the lives of the citizens of Columbus, Georgia. City Council fully supports and even applauds this initiative. The visibility that will be of the police officers on the roads over the next 30 days can't help but have a positive impact on what's going on. We do want to remind, as the Chief pointed out, we want to remind the citizens this is largely up to your participation. The success of this is going to be dictated by what you do to help these police officers do their job. We have some of the best law enforcement officers and police department that exists in the Southeast, and they can't do their job if you don't help them. So please remember, over the summer, over the next 30 days, if you have a firearm in your vehicle, that's fine. Just make sure you take it in at night, so that if anybody goes through your vehicle during the evening hours, they won't find a weapon to take and put to use on the street somewhere. So listen, thanks. I just want to tell y'all again, make sure you support these police officers as they're out there trying to make Columbus the safest city in the state of Georgia.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll open up for questions at this time.
Chuck Williams with WRBL. As you do this amnesty or forgiving guns and drugs that parents or those supervising these kids may find, how can they be assured that them or that the children that the others involved are not going to be targeted later? How can you assure them that, or can you?
Well, they just give me my word publicly. If they call us over the next 30 days and tell us that they found a gun in their child's room, even if the gun has been reported stolen, we will come pick it up, or they can meet us here at the police department. We'll take possession of it. I would rather them call us and let us come pick it up, and we will come in plain clothes and a plain colored vehicle if need be, but we'll take possession of it with no questions asked.
Thank you.
Typically during the summer months, you see rise in petty crimes such as breaking and enterings and other crimes of the sort, typically by juveniles since they've been out of school. What is the goal here? What crimes are you specifically targeting to lower in this effort?
Well, you know, as you know, our murder rate is down about 50%. But if you ask any family member of anyone that's been murdered in the city of Columbus, that's one too many. So my goal is to reduce every Part 1 crime that we have in the city of Columbus, but the entering autos is a big factor. And my goal is to get the parents to really watch out for their children. And what they could be doing is saving their child's life.
Chief, how often does it happen that a gun turns up? And what ages usually is it? And a stolen gun, or maybe that it belongs to CPD, but how much of a problem is that?
Well, it's a huge problem. A lot of our detectives find guns just about every night they're out. Every time we do a special initiative, we will get 5, 6, 7 guns off the street every weekend. And we found them as young as 12 and over. Just the other night, we found an 11-year-old and a 12-year-old out at 2 o'clock in the morning breaking into cars. So that's a problem. The parents need to know where their children are at. And listen, I know it's very difficult to raise a child in today's environment, but over the next 30 days, I would ask every parent to go into the rooms and to the cars of these children and search it. Find out what they're doing and what they have going on, even to the point of searching their phones. And truly, what the parent could be doing inadvertently is saving their child's life. Sir Robert Peel said this: "The people are the police and the police are the people," meaning that we're all in this together. It's everyone's responsibility to reduce crime. And that's all I'm calling on. I'm calling on the preachers on tomorrow at noon to say a prayer for the city of Columbus. Let's reduce the crime rate. If we all work together, we can do that. You see all these dedicated police officers in this room. Our goal is to reduce the crime.
For Mayor Henderson, what was your initial reaction when the chief, and I'm assuming the chief's the one, proposed this idea to you? Did you have any questions about it? What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was, we're on board. What do you need? Council would be willing to try to provide any resources necessary to try to make a significant statement in the community by having this many additional police officers on the street.
Thank you.
Chief Memphis, with more officers taking the streets, is this going to at all affect other department capabilities such as investigations in violent crimes, violent crimes, or any other?
Yes, we're going to be utilizing some of the police officers that normally work in those crimes just a couple of days a week. My goal is to add about 25, 30 additional police officers to the street on a daily basis. So it's not going to take them away from their regular duties for long, maybe a day or two a week. But it is going to have some type of impact on that. My goal is to get everybody, every police officer, every citizen, every council person, to influence their sphere of influence to reduce the crime rate. We all know people in here that we could reach out to that possibly are committing crimes or has the potential of committing a crime, and give them a good, fair warning. For the next 30 days, the police department is going to be out there looking. Turn in the gun, turn in the drugs, don't get caught with them.
With the, not over-policing, but if someone would say it's over-policing, I know you guys are big on relationships, being in the neighborhoods. How would you tell them that it's a good thing that there's more of us and for them to come to middle ground?
That's a great question, because you've heard me say that. We do not want to get to the point that we're over-policing communities. But just in the last couple of weeks, I received phone calls from people that live in the underserved communities, and they said, "Chief, I'm tired of living like a prisoner in my own home. I'm sick and tired of not being able to walk down the end of my street after dark, afraid to becoming a victim of crime." So those are the people we're out here for. And again, this is an initiative. This is not going to be a long-term effect. I would just like to do this for 30 days just to see where we're at. But I believe at the end of these 30 days, we're going to be, throughout the state of Georgia, we're going to be a beacon on top of a hill screaming crime reduction.
say, Chief, to the critics, using her term, that say this is over-policing? What do you say to those critics?
And trust me, I get those critics calling me, but those are the true minority. The majority of people in Columbus would love to see the crime reduced. There are people throughout this community would love to see me personally and see the police department fail. We're not going to let that happen.
What do you say, Mr. Mayor, to those that would say this is an effort in over-policing?
I think, first of all, the fact that this is of a relatively short duration. It's designed to try to see the impact that this can have in a community by putting these additional people on the street. And I do think everything we do, whether it's installing cameras, whether it's putting together an initiative where you've got more people out on the streets, there are always going to be people that criticize that and claim that we're overdoing it a little bit. This is the type of initiative, in my opinion, I would rather be accused of overdoing it a little bit than have somebody else get injured on the streets.
Thank you, Mayor. And again, let me point out, this is not an initiative to go out and say how many tickets we can write or how many people we can take to jail. This is 100% visibility.
Chief Mathis, how are you hoping to deter crime either through lower response times to crime calls or through presence to where it would deter people from committing them in the first place?
Well, on the police side of it, yes, we're going to have a faster response time, plus we're going to have more visibility out there. We're going to have undercover vehicles that can prevent a lot of those break-ins in neighborhoods and apartment complex. We're going to have police all over the place. But I'm also asking the citizens for their help. I'm asking them to call us. If you see something, call us and say something. Keep an eye on your kids, search their cars, search their bedrooms, and if we all collectively work together, this is going to be a very popular initiative that we're going to get calls to all over the state. Want to know how Columbus done that.
I'm not sure this is a question for, but are there any programs both with the, I know there are, but Mayor's Office and CPD for teens this summer that you guys would like to promote?
Actually, the mayor does have a program that he does for teens. Actually, I think you hire them and bring them in and let them work. So, but we do not have, we are starting a police foundation. And that police foundation, part of that is going to be the police department working with teens, and it's going to be funded by your local businesses. And we're just kind of getting into that now.
Yeah, the Chief mentioned Summer Youth Employment Program. This is about the 5th year that we've done it. It's actually reviving a program that existed back in the 70s. So it's been about 50 years since we've gotten it working. But the whole idea is to find the kids through the schools and the counselors that have 1 foot inbounds, 1 foot out of bounds. It's not necessarily for the kid that's going to an Ivy League school, knows exactly where they're going to work or any of that. This is some of the young people that really don't have a clue. So it teaches them, number one, it teaches them some soft skills associated with holding a job. It teaches them how to take supervision, because a lot of these kids have never been told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So it's something that we think will help take a few of them. We'll probably get 150 kids in the program. And if we can take a few of them and preoccupy their minds and wear them out a little bit while they're out there working, that's 150 kids that's not on the streets. We also have a lot of things going on with our rec centers this summer. Thank goodness the pools are opening. Some of them have been shut down for 6 years. So we've got those back up and running. We'll have 2 of the splash pads open here in the next couple of months. By the way, shameless plug for Holly, our Parks and Rec Director. If you know any kid that wants to be a lifeguard, send them our way, because that's our biggest challenge right now, is finding kids that want to work and be a lifeguard.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes, sir.
I know you mentioned the pools. Other people in the community have said with the pool being closed the past, it has led to a higher amount of crime within juveniles. Do you believe the pools being open this summer will help reduce crime?
You know, I think any positive activity that's available for the young people is a good thing. I think it can't help but help us a little bit in that vein. I will say, though, that you know, we saw a tremendous spike in crime in 2021, and we were not the outlier. If you look across the United States, there were people struggling with defund police, a disrespect for police officers. We were just coming out of COVID, and people were on edge. Not blaming it on that, but I will say there's been a steady decline since we have seen our numbers of officers rise. We've seen a steady decline in crime. That's because of directly credited to the hard work of the men and women that are in this police department right now.
Thank you, Mayor. Listen, I appreciate everybody showing up. If you want to talk to some of these police officers, they have my permission to speak to any of you guys from the media. So listen, I appreciate the media and I appreciate every police officer here. Mayor, thank you.